Okay, so today we are learning about cost and speed. So the first part of this is lesson 8, how much for one? It says, let's use ratios to describe how much things cost. So we can do recipes, and we could also deal with money when we're dealing with ratios. So it says the unit price is the price of one thing. For example, the price of one ticket, one slice of pizza, 1 kilogram of peaches. It says if 4 movie tickets cost $28, so that's going to be this right here. What would be the cost per ticket? So we can create a double number line to find the unit price. So the double number line shows that the cost for one ticket is $7. And the way that you find that is you would divide them. So you would take this 28 and you would divide it by 4. And that's going to give you the unit price or the price for one. That is what we'll be doing the whole time. So by dividing them. So if I know that 4 tickets are $28, I know that one ticket is $7 because 28 divided by 4 is 7. So that tells me the cost of one. So it says the unit price is the cost for one item, for one unit of measure. For example, if 10 feet of chain link fence cost $150, then the unit price would be these two numbers divided by each other, and it would equal $15 per foot. So you're in your book on page 46. That's where we begin. And we're going to talk about grocery shopping. So you see things like this, 2 for $3, 3 for $11 when you're at the store. So we're dealing with how much for one. So for number 1, it says 8 avocados cost $4. Now, what I always do every single time is I find the cost of one before I even move on with the problem. So that's going to be this right here. Now, a trick that I teach kids is the money will always be what you do first. So if you're typing this in a calculator, the money is what you're going to type before you begin. So you can use a calculator. You just need to make sure that you use the calculator correctly. Because if you were to punch this in 8 divided by 4, that would give you 2, and that's wrong. So you need to make sure that you're putting in the cost divided by the amount. And that would be this 4 divided by 8 is 50 cents. So that 50 cents, that is our unit rate. That's the cost for one. So that number is going to help us with the rest of the problem. So it says, how much do 16 avocados cost? All you do is you take 16 of them multiplied by that 1. So that cost of 1, which is 50 cents. So it would be $8. So for letter B, it says, how much do 20 avocados cost? You're going to take that 20 and you're going to multiply it by that 1 or that 0.50. And that's going to give you $10. And then how much do 9 avocados cost? You're going to take that 9 and you're going to multiply it to the amount of 1, which is 50 cents. So you'll get $4.50. So we're going to keep going. We'll do this again. We're on number 2. And remember, I said to always find the cost of one first. Now, remember, I said you're going to take the money and you're going to divide it by how many there are. So 9 divided by 12 is 75 cents. That's the cost for one water is 75 cents. So now we kind of use that and we keep going. So it says, how many bottles can you buy for $3? So if there's 12 of them and you're multiplying it, and you're dividing it by $3, you will get 4 bottles. So now it says, what is the cost per bottle? Well, I already solved that up there. It would be this $9 divided by the 12, which is 75 cents. Now it says, how much would 7 bottles of water cost? So I'm going to take that 7 and I'm going to multiply it to the cost of 1, which is 75 cents. And my answer is $5.25. And we'll do it one more time. So how much for one? Remember I said always find your cost of one when you are doing this. I also said to start with the money, and then you're going to divide it by however many are there. So there's a 10-pound sack of flour. So that's 80 cents. So it's 80 cents for 1 pound sack. Okay, so A says, how much does 40 pounds of flour cost? Okay, so now we're going to do 40 times 8, because it's $8. That's where I got the 8, and I got 320. Now I'm going to divide that because it comes in 10-pound increments or 10-pound sacks. So my answer is 32. Now for letter B, it says, what's the cost per pound? Well, I already solved that at the very top. I took the cost right there and I divided it by the 10-pound bag. So the answer is 80 cents. Okay, so now we're doing more shopping. You're on page 47. So remember I said find the cost of one. So 4 bags of chips are $6. So I do the 6. Remember, you do the money divided by the amount, which is 4. And the cost for one is $1.50. So what's the cost per bag? It's $1.50. It says at this rate, how much are 7 bags? So I'm going to take the cost of one and I'm going to multiply it to 7, and I get $10.50. Okay, so now number 2, find the cost of one. You're going to take the money and you're going to divide it by how many there are. So 15 divided by 5 is 3. So that's the cost of one book. Okay, so the cost per book is $3. At this rate, how many books can you get with $21? So you're going to take this 21 and you're going to divide it by the cost, which is 3. And your answer is 7 books. Okay, last one. Find the cost of one. So you're going to take the money and you're going to divide it by the amount. So it's $1 for 4 of them. So you know that. That's 4 quarters, right? So a quarter is each bracelet. So what's the cost per bracelet or for one bracelet? The answer is 25 cents because I did it right here. At this rate, how much would 11 bracelets cost? You're going to do 11 times the cost of one, and you'll get $2.75. So now we're going to talk about speed. We're on lesson 9. It says, let's use ratios to work with how fast things move. So it says, suppose a train is traveling 100 meters in 5 seconds at a constant speed. To find its speed in meters per second, we can create a double number line. So this 100 in 5 seconds, if you were to divide those, you would get 20. And that 20 tells us 1 second how far it goes. Okay, so the double number line shows that the train speed is 20 meters per second. That's for 1 second. We can also find the speed by dividing them. I said that. So once we know the speed, we can answer other situations, and we're going to see that in just a minute. So meters per second is a unit for measuring speed. It tells how many meters an object goes in 1 second. So an example, a person walking 3 meters per second is going faster than a person walking 2 meters per second. Okay, so we're doing lesson 3 only on this section. So you're going to turn to page 52. All right, and then it says, Lynn and Diego both ran for 10 seconds. So they both ran that long, each at a constant speed. Lynn ran 40 meters and Diego ran 55. Who went faster? So Diego went faster. They got the same time, but he ran the farthest. So that is what you'll write for number 1 on page 52. Okay, and then this should be the end of it. So you're on page 53. Same scenario, but we're answering number 2. How far did each person move in 1 second? So what I did is for Lynn, I took 40 and I divided it by 10. And that's how I got 4 meters. And then I took Diego and I did his 55 divided by the 10 seconds, and I got 5.5 meters. So you'll join the meet and we will start practice.